Every single day, you wake up to the same opponent, not the economy, not your boss, not your competitors. The opponent you face is the one staring back at you in the mirror. The battle of life is not you versus them. It is, and always will be, you versus you. Most people spend their lives comparing themselves to others. They look at what someone else has achieved, how far they've gone, and they start feeling small. But the truth is, comparison is a trap. The only comparison that matters is who you were yesterday and who you are today. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory if it's a step beyond your former self. You see, success doesn't come from competition with others, it comes from conquering your own limitation. Every time you delay your goals, every time you give in to excuses, every time you let fear hold you back, that's you standing in your own way. And the moment you decide to take full responsibility, not partial, not conditional, but full responsibility, that's the moment everything changes. You have within you the potential to create an extraordinary life, but it's buried under habits of comfort, distraction, and self-doubt. Discipline is the bridge that gets you from where you are to where you want to be. Motivation may start the engine, but discipline keeps it running. The people who win in life are not necessarily the most talented. They are the most consistent. They show up when they don't feel like it. They put in the work when nobody's watching. They do what their weaker self doesn't want to do, and that's why they grow. Every day, you have two choices: to repeat yesterday or to rewrite it. The version of you that complains, that procrastinates, that blames others, that version needs to die for your potential to be born. The stronger version of you, the one that refuses to give up, that believes in progress over perfection, that one deserves to live. When you face challenges, understand this: the obstacle is not the enemy. Your reaction is. The problem is not the difficulty. It's your mindset toward it. Winners train their minds to see every problem as a test of growth. When things get hard, they don't say, "Why me?" They say, "Try me." Because they know that diamonds are made under pressure. Remember, no one will come to rescue you. No one will do the push-ups for you. No one will change your life for you. You must do it yourself. And when you realize that your future depends solely on the choices you make today, you'll stop waiting for permission and start taking action. Think about where you could be 1 year from now if you stop fighting your potential, if you silence the voice of fear and listen to the voice of purpose. The time will pass anyway. The only question is, will you let it pass in regret or in progress? You versus you. That's the only battle that matters. The weaker version of you wants to stay comfortable, to take it easy, to coast through life. The stronger version of you knows that comfort kills growth. It knows that temporary pain leads to lasting pride. So every time you want to quit, remember why you started. Every time you doubt yourself, remind yourself of what's at stake. You can have excuses, or you can have results, but you can't have both. The life you dream of, the success you crave, the peace you seek, it's all waiting on the other side of discipline, courage, and self-mastery. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up and look in the mirror, ask yourself one question: which version of me will win today? Because every decision, every action, every moment is a chance to choose progress over comfort, growth over fear, purpose over doubt. The battle never ends, but neither does your strength. It's you versus you, and the best version of you is waiting to be unleashed. Go and become that person. Every morning when you wake up, before you check your phone, before you talk to anyone, before you step out into the world, you are already in a battle. It's a silent one, invisible to everyone else, but it determines everything about your life. That battle is you versus you. It's between the person you are and the person you have the potential to become. The truth is, no one can stop you except yourself. Not the economy, not the government, not your background, not your past mistakes. The only real obstacle is the person staring back at you in the mirror. Most people never realize this. They spend their lives comparing themselves to others, measuring their worth by someone else's success. They look at what others have achieved, their money, their career, their looks, their lifestyle, and start to believe that they're behind, that they're not good enough, that they somehow missed their chance. But comparison is poison. It kills joy, it kills focus, and it blinds you to your own potential. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is the person you were yesterday. If you are even a little stronger, wiser, or more disciplined than you were the day before, you are winning. That is the essence of personal growth. Continuous, deliberate self-improvement. This is the battle most people ignore. They fight against others, trying to prove themselves to the world, while losing the internal war that matters most. You don't need to outdo anyone else. You need to outgrow yourself. You need to confront the voice inside that says, "I can't, I'll do it later," or "It's too hard." That voice is not your friend. It's the voice of your comfort zone trying to keep you small. The stronger version of you lives on the other side of that resistance. The real test of character comes in the moments when no one is watching. It's in those quiet decisions, whether you hit the snooze button or get up and work, whether you waste another hour scrolling through your phone or invest that time in learning, whether you let fear make your decisions or act with courage despite it. Every small choice is a vote for who you become. You are building yourself brick by brick, decision by decision. The version of you that wins is the one who chooses growth over comfort, effort over excuses, action over delay. Think about it. Every time you feel like giving up, you're standing at the doorway to transformation. Growth never feels good because you're breaking through who you were to become who you're meant to be. And that process is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to test you, stretch you, and challenge you until you prove that you are stronger than your old self. The moment you decide to stop running from difficulty and start embracing it, your life begins to change. When you stop fighting others and start focusing on improving yourself, everything shifts. You realize that you don't need to compete, you need to evolve. You stop asking, "How can I beat them?" and start asking, "How can I become better?" That simple change in thinking separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Because when you grow yourself, your skills, your discipline, your mindset, you naturally rise above the competition. You stop chasing success and start attracting it. The truth is, every day you are given a fresh opportunity to defeat your weaker self. The version of you that procrastinates, that doubts, that fears failure, that version is trying to keep control. But you don't owe that version anything. You owe everything to the part of you that dreams, that believes, that wants more out of life. And every decision you make is either feeding your potential or feeding your limitations. So, as you go through your day, ask yourself, am I acting like the person I want to become? Because that's the real scoreboard. That's how you know whether you're winning the battle. Each time you choose discipline, courage, or effort, you take one more step toward victory in the only competition that truly matters, you versus you. There's a moment in every person's life when they finally understand that no one is coming to save them. No one is going to fix their problems, make them successful, or turn their dreams into reality. The moment you realize this truth is the moment you begin to take control. Responsibility is not a burden, it's power. It's the foundation of all success, because until you take full responsibility for where you are, you cannot take charge of where you're going. Most people spend years waiting for the right time, the right person, the right opportunity. They blame circumstances, luck, and other people for their failures. They say, "Only I had better parents, if only I lived somewhere else, if only I had more time." But those words are poison. They keep you stuck in a victim mindset, a place where you have no power, no control, and no progress. Responsibility changes that. It says, "It's up to me. I am where I am because of the decisions I've made. And if I want to be somewhere else, I need to make different decisions." That mindset transforms your entire life. When you stop blaming and start owning your results, something incredible happens. You start to see solutions where others see excuses. You realize that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. Instead of complaining about what's wrong, you focus on what you can do to make it right. This is the attitude that separates successful people from everyone else. They don't wait for life to get easier, they become better. They don't wait for things to change, they take responsibility and make the change themselves. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that happens. It means accepting that you are in charge of how you respond. You can't control the economy, the weather, or other people's actions, but you can control your effort, your attitude, and your mindset. That's all you ever truly need. The most powerful people in the world are not those with the most resources. They are those with the strongest sense of responsibility. They believe that no matter what happens, they can find a way forward. When you live with responsibility, you stop being reactive and start being proactive. You stop saying, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" Every failure becomes a lesson. Every mistake becomes a teacher. Every setback becomes preparation for a comeback. You begin to see that life isn't something happening to you. It's something responding to you. The more responsibility you accept, the more control you gain. There is freedom in responsibility. When you know that your life is in your hands, you no longer need to wait for permission. You don't need to wait for luck or opportunity. You create your own. You understand that everything you desire is the result of choices you make today. If you want more success, take responsibility for your habits. If you want better relationships, take responsibility for your communication. If you want more money, take responsibility for your work ethic and learning. Everything comes back to ownership. The people who struggle most in life are those who constantly shift blame. They spend more time explaining why they can't than finding reasons why they can. They live in reaction to the world instead of creating their own. Responsibility is the turning point that changes that story. It forces you to stop looking outward for answers and start looking inward. When you fully accept responsibility, you become unstoppable. You understand that no matter how difficult life gets, you always have a choice to rise, to act, to grow. You stop wasting time wishing things were easier and start working to become stronger. Because the truth is simple. No one else can change your life for you. No one else can build your dreams, improve your health, or strengthen your mindset. It's your job, and your job alone. The moment you take complete responsibility for everything in your life is the moment you gain complete control over your future. You stop being a passenger and become the driver. You stop hoping and start doing. And from that moment forward, nothing can hold you back because you finally discovered the power that's been within you all along. Motivation is powerful, but it's fleeting. It's the spark that gets you started, but it doesn't last long. Discipline, on the other hand, is the fuel that keeps the fire burning long after the spark is gone. The difference between people who succeed and those who don't isn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It's discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. It's showing up every single day, not because it's easy, but because your goals demand it. Everyone feels motivated when the idea is new, when the excitement is fresh, when the vision is clear. But sooner or later, that excitement fades. You wake up tired, unmotivated, distracted. This is where most people stop. They wait for motivation to return before they act again. But the truth is, motivation doesn't come first. Action does. Discipline is the act of doing what you said you would do, long after the mood in which you said it has left you. It's the difference between dreaming and achieving. Think about the most successful people in any field: athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. What separates them isn't that they're always inspired. It's that they've trained themselves to act even when they're not. They don't rely on feelings. They rely on habits. They don't ask, "Do I feel like doing this?" They simply do it because it's part of who they are. Discipline becomes their identity. And once you make discipline part of your identity, success becomes inevitable. Discipline is not punishment. It's self-respect. When you're disciplined, You're telling yourself that your future matters more than your impulses. You're proving to yourself that you can be trusted to follow through. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build confidence. And every time you break one, you weaken it. The strongest people are not the ones who never get tired or never doubt themselves. They're the ones who keep moving forward despite it. The truth is, discipline is uncomfortable. It requires sacrifice. It demands consistency. You have to say no to things that give you temporary pleasure, so you can say yes to things that give you lasting fulfillment. You have to wake up early when you'd rather sleep, work hard when you'd rather relax, and stay focused when distractions surround you. But in return, discipline gives you freedom. The freedom to live life on your terms, the freedom to create your own destiny, and the freedom to look in the mirror knowing you gave everything you had. Discipline builds momentum. Every small action compounds over time. One workout becomes a routine. One productive hour becomes a productive day. One good habit leads to another. And before you know it, your discipline has built a foundation of strength, confidence, and progress that no setback can destroy. The key is to start small but stay consistent. Don't try to change everything at once. Build discipline in one area, master it, and then expand. Progress is a result of persistence, not perfection. There will be days when you fail, when you slip back into old habits, when your mind tries to convince you to take it easy. That's when discipline truly matters. Because discipline is not about being perfect, it's about never giving up. It's about standing up every time you fall. It's about doing what's necessary even when no one else sees it. The quiet victories you win in private become the foundation for the success you achieve in public. The most powerful people in the world are not those who always feel motivated. They're those who act with discipline even in the absence of motivation. They understand that success is not an event, it's a lifestyle built on consistent choices. So if you want to change your life, don't wait for inspiration. Build discipline yourself. Because once you master that, you'll no longer depend on fleeting feelings. You'll be driven by unstoppable habits. Comfort feels safe. It feels familiar. It feels easy. But comfort is also the silent killer of dreams. It slowly dulls your ambition, weakens your drive, and convinces you that good enough is acceptable. The truth is, no one grows inside their comfort zone. Every achievement, every breakthrough, every success you've ever admired came from someone who is willing to be uncomfortable, someone who was willing to do what others wouldn't. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. You must choose one. The human mind is wired to seek safety. It wants to avoid pain, uncertainty, and difficulty. That's why most people settle for mediocrity. They stay where it's comfortable, where things are predictable, where they don't have to take risks. But what they don't realize is that staying in the comfort zone isn't staying safe, it's staying stuck. Comfort disguises itself as peace, but it's really stagnation. You may not feel pain there, but you also won't feel progress. You'll trade long-term fulfillment for short-term ease, and years later you'll look back wondering where your potential went. Every successful person you know has learned to become comfortable being uncomfortable. They understand that pain is not the enemy, it's the path. Every time you push yourself beyond what's familiar, you're expanding who you are. You're training your mind to adapt, your body to perform, and your spirit to endure. The stronger version of you is built in those moments of struggle. The moment you resist quitting when things get hard, you grow. The moment you face fear instead of running from it, you evolve. The moment you take one more step when everything in you says stop, you transform. The comfort zone feels good now, but it costs you later. The growth zone feels hard now, but it rewards you later. It's a simple trade, short-term discomfort for long-term greatness. Every day you have a choice to protect your comfort or to pursue your potential. You can't do both. The people who achieve extraordinary success are not necessarily smarter or luckier. They simply made a decision to lean into discomfort. They wake up early when it's easier to sleep in. They work when others rest. They take chances, risk failure, and keep moving forward even when it hurts. When you start to feel uncomfortable, that's your signal that you're growing. Most people interpret discomfort as a sign to stop, but it's actually a sign to keep going. It means you're stretching beyond your limits. Think of it like building muscle. Growth only happens when you push beyond what feels easy. The resistance, the burn, the fatigue, those are not signs of weakness, they're signs of progress. The same applies to life. Every challenge, every rejection, every fear you face is preparing you for the next level of your journey. Comfort can give you pleasure, but it will never give you purpose. Purpose is found in the pursuit of something greater than yourself, something that demands more effort, more courage, and more persistence than you thought you had. When you live for comfort, you shrink your world to what's easy. When you live for growth, you expand your world to what's possible. And once you experience the satisfaction of progress, you'll never want to go back. The truth is, greatness doesn't come from what's comfortable. It comes from what's challenging. If it doesn't push you, it won't change you. The discomfort you feel today is the price of the strength you'll have tomorrow. So stop running from the hard things. Do the workout. Make the call. Start the project. Face the fear. Every time you choose discomfort, you choose to evolve. Every time you face difficulty head-on, you build resilience, confidence, and character. One day, you'll look back and realize that the things that once scared you became the very things that shaped you. Growth isn't supposed to feel good. It's supposed to transform you. And transformation only happens when you decide that your dreams are worth more than your comfort. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world, and it determines how you experience everything that happens to you. Two people can face the same challenge. One sees it as an obstacle. The other sees it as an opportunity. The difference between them is not the situation itself, but the mindset they bring to it. Your thoughts shape your attitude shapes your actions, and your actions shape your results. Change the way you think, and you change everything about your life. Most people live reacting to circumstances. When something goes wrong, they complain, they worry, they blame. They let outside events dictate how they feel inside. But successful people do the opposite. They don't let circumstances control their emotions. They control how they respond to circumstances. They understand that while they can't always choose what happens, they can always choose how they interpret it. This is the foundation of personal power, the ability to control your own response. Your mindset can either be your greatest weapon or your biggest limitation. A weak mindset sees problems. A strong mindset sees potential. A fixed mindset says, "I can't do this," while a growth mindset says, "I can't do this yet." That one word, "yet," is the difference between stagnation and progress. It keeps the door open for learning, adapting, and improving. Every successful person in history has faced failure, rejection, and disappointment. The reason they kept going wasn't because life was easier for them. It was because their mindset turned challenges into fuel for growth. Life will always test you. Things will go wrong. Plans will fail. People will disappoint you. The difference between those who rise and those who fall lies in perspective. When you see challenges as opportunities to learn, you turn pain into power. When you face setbacks with determination instead of despair, you transform your struggle into strength. Every hardship carries a hidden gift, a lesson, a skill, a deeper understanding of yourself. But you'll only find it if you look through the right lens. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, you'll harvest failure and regret. But if you plant seeds of faith, focus, and persistence, you'll harvest confidence and success. You must guard your thoughts carefully because your thoughts create your reality. Feed your mind with positive ideas, inspiring messages, and empowering beliefs. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow rather than keep you comfortable. Over time, your environment will reinforce your mindset, and your mindset will shape your destiny. The most successful people have trained their minds to see beyond the moment. They don't panic when life gets hard. They've conditioned themselves to stay calm under pressure because they know that emotions come and go, but choices last. They ask empowering questions like, "What is this trying to teach me?" Or, "How can I use this experience to become better?" That's the mindset of mastery, the understanding that every event, good or bad, is part of your preparation for something greater. A powerful mindset doesn't ignore reality. It reframes it. It doesn't pretend that pain doesn't exist. It simply refuses to be controlled by it. Strength doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you face fear and act anyway. Every time you choose courage over comfort, patience over panic, growth over giving up, you strengthen your mindset. And over time, that mental toughness becomes your greatest advantage. When you train your mind to see opportunity where others see difficulty, you become unstoppable. The world will always present problems, but your perception determines whether those problems defeat you or develop you. Your external world is simply a reflection of your internal state. If you want to change your results, start by changing your thoughts. Because the truth is, you don't see life as it is, you see it as you are. Once you master your mindset, you master your reality. Every single day, you are faced with a choice. You can either move closer to your goals or drift further away from them. The difference lies in the decisions you make and the discipline you apply. You can have excuses or you can have progress, but never both. Progress is built through small, consistent actions that compound over time. Excuses, on the other hand, are the quiet killers of dreams. They sound reasonable, they feel comfortable, but they steal your future one day at a time. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never face difficulty. They're the ones who refuse to let excuses define them. Excuses are easy to make. They allow you to avoid discomfort, responsibility, and effort. You can always justify why you didn't start, why you didn't try, why you didn't finish. But deep down, you know the truth. Those excuses are lies that protect your comfort zone. They give you temporary relief, but permanent regret. Every time you choose an excuse, you give up a piece of your potential. You hand over your power to fear, doubt, and laziness. And the more you practice making excuses, the weaker your mindset becomes. Progress doesn't come from waiting for perfect conditions. It comes from taking imperfect action. There will never be a perfect time. You'll never feel fully ready. You'll never have every answer. But you don't need perfection. You need momentum. One small step forward, taken consistently, will always outperform big intentions that are never acted upon. The key is to start where you are, with what you have, and do what you can. Every little step compounds, and soon you'll realize how far you've come. Excuses are rooted in fear, the fear of failure, rejection, or not being good enough. But here's the secret. Everyone feels fear. The difference is that successful people act in spite of it. They've learned that fear fades with action, but excuses grow stronger with delay. Every time you act, you weaken fear's hold over you. Every time you hesitate, you give it more power. Progress begins the moment you stop listening to that inner voice that says, "I can't," and start asking, "How can I?" Consistency beats intensity every single time. You don't need to do extraordinary things to achieve success. You just need to do ordinary things consistently well. A few pages read every day become a library. A short workout each morning becomes a strong body. A little effort toward your goals each day becomes a transformed life. Progress is the reward for persistence, and persistence is the product of discipline. When you make progress a habit, excuses lose their grip on you. The truth is, you already have what it takes. You don't need more motivation, more time, or more resources. You need commitment. You need to decide that your future is more important than your comfort, that your goals matter more than your excuses. Every day you wake up, you're faced with a simple decision. Do you move forward or stay the same? The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. The sooner you act, the easier it becomes to continue. When you look back years from now, you won't remember the excuses. You'll only remember the moments you pushed through and kept going. You'll be proud of the days when you didn't feel like showing up, but did anyway. That's where real progress is born, not in bursts of motivation, but in the quiet moments of perseverance. So every morning remind yourself, progress or excuses, growth or comfort, change or regret. The power to decide is in your hands. No one else can make that choice for you. You can choose to keep waiting, or you can choose to start winning. Every small action, every act of discipline, every decision to move forward brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. Excuses fade when you act, but progress compounds when you persist. And over time, that persistence will build a life that no excuse could ever give you. In the end, every message comes back to one truth. It's you versus you. Life is not a race against others. It's a continuous journey of becoming the best version of yourself. Every decision, every habit, every thought either pulls you closer to your potential or keeps you stuck where you are. The real battle is not external. It's internal. It's between your strength and your weakness, your discipline and your excuses, your dreams and your fears. You have the power to shape your destiny, but it begins with responsibility, the courage to own your life completely. You must train your mind to see challenges as stepping stones, not roadblocks, and understand that discomfort is simply the price of growth. Motivation will fade, but discipline will carry you forward. Progress will come slowly, but it will come if you refuse to quit. Every day offers you a choice. Stay the same or become better. Choose better. Choose effort over ease, action over hesitation, and growth over fear. Don't wait for the perfect moment, create it. Don't wait for the right time, make it. The greatest victory you'll ever achieve is conquering the person you were yesterday. So when you wake up tomorrow, look in the mirror and remember, the only person you need to defeat, improve, and overcome is the one staring back at you. Because once you win that battle, everything else in life falls into place. It's always been you versus you, and it always will be. Thank you